So in this project, I wanted to install halo fog lights, and I wanted the halo to be able to be on independent of the fog light. So I wanted to wire it with the headlights and wire it with the ability to just have the halos on. I also needed to change out the switch, which is what I'm doing here. The switch that it comes with is pretty basic. The switch I'm changing it to allows you to have auto on off lights. So it basically has a sensor built into the switch, and when it gets dark it just turns the lights on, and when it's light it turns them off. So you don't have to do that option if you don't want to, but I want to have that there. It also has another ability to have a different configuration for your lights if you wanted to make changes in the future. I also didn't film this, but you can bend down one of the pins so that the runtime lights or the daytime lights are always off. By default, they're always on this car. So you can bend down this pin, which I didn't film, which will allow you to be able to turn off the daytime running lights, because I didn't want my lights on all the time. So here I'm trying to find out which pins and which wire I can use to piggyback off of for the fog lights and for the halo lights. So I'm just trying to figure out which pin connections I'm going to use. Now obviously you could do this a totally different way. You could just run 3 new wires from the switch, or even put in a new switch to operate the lights. This is just the way I decided to do it. I mean, there's a number of ways you could really do this. If this was a newer car, I probably would not do it this way. But since it's an older car, I'm not really worried about it. So I'm just removing some of the plastic covering so that I can get to the wires that I'm going to cut. You may also want to, at least it's recommended, that you may want to disconnect the battery before you start cutting on wires on the vehicle. Might be a good idea. I didn't, but it'd be a good idea to disconnect it. So I'm using a lighter to strip my wires because I don't have my wire strippers with me. They actually left my toolbox at a friend's house because I was doing some work over there, and my wire strippers were in that toolbox, so I'm just making do with the lighter. It still works. Probably not the best thing to do, but hey. So here I just wanted to test the halo light, and I also wanted to test the fog light portion of it, just to make sure that, you know, they were working before I went through the wiring and installing everything, just to test it. So I already wired up the halo portion. Now I'm trying to wire up the headlight portion to the fog light, and that's what the red wire you just saw me run from the top was for. It's gonna, when the headlight turns on, it's gonna turn the fog light on as well. Kids, please don't try this at home. Don't use a lighter to do the wire stripping near the engine. next to the fuel lines, please use wire strippers. notice in this picture, I also changed out the headlights as well. I didn't video record that portion of it, but I just wanted to so you can see what it looks like with both the fog lights and halo lights and the headlights being changed. It's getting there, still got a ways to go, but thanks for checking out the video this far.